Sean Hastings began the first of his 7 sessions on October 5th, 2014. Over the course of the next 3 weeks, he followed various matrilineal and patrilineal lines into the past, focusing on the 9th, 10th, and 11th centuries in search of assassins and or Templars in his bloodline. He found none. Of minor interest, however, was the following personage here noted for the peculiarity of his biography. Elector Thorbjorn, as an early 9th century Jute who sailed north from modern-day Denmark with a wooden plank bearing a carving of a map that purported to mark the location of Thor's hammer. Elector made it as far as Stavanger before running afoul of a powerful clan there. Elector was defeated in battle and enthralled as a slave. He escaped his captivity some 10 years later and returned to Jutland to marry and settle down. The location of Elector's map is unknown, and the existence of Thor's hammer, a precursor relic, no doubt remains unconfirmed. Elector's ancestors would later sail to England following the Normans' conquest of the island, settling in what is now called Loughborough in modern-day Leicestershire. The irony that a man named Hastings would contain no useful genetic memory data regarding the Norman invasion of England in 1066 was not lost on our dear subject. Still, he retained the usual chipper wit and next relived the genetic memories of his grandfather to, quote, give a Nazi a proper bullocking. Whew. I don't know if I have the stamina to read all these. We might have to come back to these. So all this stuff here, we're going to come back later. Yeah, we're going to come back to all this later. And I might start with this, so I'm going to save it here, I think. Alright, so the plan is, I was hoping to get to England to show it, but I kind of want to go through all this stuff. Because I think a lot of this, I don't want to call it important, but gives some backstory. So if anyone watches this and is unaware of how this game works, this game is divided up into regions, and if I remember correctly, it's 14 different regions in England. I think it's 14. Don't hold me to that, but and each region has a different story arc, so it's a non-linear story. Out of those 14 regions, I would say maybe 3 or 4 of them are interesting, and that's going to be the problem with finishing this game. Like I said, I've already beaten this game, so I hope I keep my Steam going and finish it again. And I know platinuming this game is a lot. As I had mentioned before, there's over 700 collectibles in this game, and that's just collectibles. There's a bunch of side quests and other shit that you need to do to 100% complete the game. But that is cool. So anyway, there's 14 regions. So what I am planning on doing is we will start it not with the next stream, but the stream after. When I start a new region, I'm going to clear out as much of the side activities as I can off stream. There are certain things that you have to get further along in the game to actually be able to complete. But for what I can complete, I'm going to try to do it off stream before I start the story arc. So I'm going to pick the region I want to go to, clear out all the side activities I can, and then when I start the story arc, then I will start the stream. But for the next stream, we will start here. We will go through the rest of the stuff. And yeah, that's how we'll proceed. Anyway, oh man, I've really hit a wall. It's almost 11. I've played an hour longer than I wanted to. But I will catch you guys later.